Ladies, thank you for your love and support. I appreciate you all. Emmanuel Macron, the president of France, who told us boldly that he owned Africa, that Africa is his property. The Africans can never do without them. They must always be here to control us, determine what we should do. They are our father. We are just children. So they need to be here to guide us. They have developed. They have everything. And that is the reason to which they love us so much. Yet people are having difficulties in accessing healthcare over there. What they will eat is a problem. But they can leave their people to come into the African continent to come and help us. Thanks to these people. According to Eric Lombard, the finance minister, France, the almighty France that claims it has solved its problems, and the next thing is to come and help Africa. They are at the edge of going to IMF for bailout. The things are not easy for them. They are not seeing top. Ever since Mali, Niger, and Burkina Faso kicked France out, things are difficult. France is now in bankruptcy. Just 3 nations. This is beautiful. Quote, it's a risk that is in front of us. Unquote. France struggles. They are not seeing topo. See, their industries are collapsing because the cheap uranium they used to get from Niger is no longer coming. Businesses are collapsing in France.
The collapsing economies of France and of Germany. A couple of days ago, we talked about the collapsing economy of the UK. Well, we now have Germany in big trouble, and we now have France in big trouble. The rumors are that the UK is possibly going to seek some sort of a bailout from the IMF. I don't know how possible that is. And the rumors are that France may do the same. The German economy is in a bit of a different situation, but we'll get to all of that. So let's begin with France. There's going to be a vote on the budget, I believe September. I want to say September 9th or September 6th.
Yeah.
And the outlook is that Bayrou, the Prime Minister of France, is not going to get the approval that he needs, and that will trigger either snap elections, or perhaps Macron may opt to nominate a different person for the role of prime minister. We'll see when the vote actually takes place. But it looks like Bayrou does not have the support of the socialists or of the National Rally. So anyway, what are your thoughts with France? And then we'll transition to Germany. We'll talk about
we did a program about the situation in Britain, and we spoke about how bad the situation in Britain is, and it's as bad, though in a somewhat different way, in France also. Now, you said that there's rumors about France having perhaps to seek a bailout and make an application to the IMF. We can't call them rumors because they have been confirmed by no less a person than France's finance minister, Eric Lombard. He actually said that if the budget isn't passed, and I believe the day is the 8th of September, if it isn't passed, then the government obviously will have to resign, because the government has made this an issue of confidence, and that might create a crisis in the bond markets, and that might lead France to apply for a loan to the IMF. Now, this could be scare talk, but it's a pretty extraordinary thing for the finance minister of a country to do, to actually talk in this way, to cast doubt on the credit rating, the credit stability of his own country. And that perhaps tells us a lot about the overall situation in France. Now, France is similar to Britain, but different. France has a higher debt to GDP ratio. In France, it's 114%, so it's bigger. France's budget deficit is bigger as well. And most importantly, the biggest difference of all is that France is in the Eurozone. Now, what that means is that if there is a crisis, a solvency crisis in France, It is a solvency crisis for the Eurozone. If France suffers a major crisis in the financial markets, which is certainly possible because everybody agrees, just as they do about Britain, that the present trajectory is an unsustainable one, that France cannot continue to spend in the way that it does. Its economy is as stagnant as Britain's is. If there is a financial crisis in France, inevitably it's going to affect the entire Eurozone as well. And if there is a bailout, inevitably that means that the European institutions are going to have to be involved, the European Central Bank, the European Commission, and ultimately the paymasters of these two institutions, who are the Germans.
In the autumn, I set out our new fiscal rules that would guide this government. These fiscal rules are non-negotiable. They are the embodiment of this government's unwavering commitment to bring stability to our economy and to ensure security for working people.
Something is happening in Britain's economy that almost nobody is talking about, and if it continues, the consequences could be devastating. Rachel Reeves is preparing her budget, but the warning lights are flashing red. Economists say Britain could face the same humiliation it suffered in 1976, when the nation had to beg the International Monetary Fund for help. Back then, reckless spending left the country nearly bankrupt. Now, history may be repeating itself. The cost of government borrowing has soared beyond 5.5%, even higher than during the Liz Truss crisis. Markets are bracing for disaster, yet many in Westminster act as if nothing is wrong. Professor Jagjit Chadha and other respected voices warn that spiralling debt, endless borrowing, and a weak pound could force Britain back into the arms of international lenders. This isn't just politics. It means higher mortgages, pricier imports, and pressure on every household budget.
We are the reason to which they are. They can never live without Africa. They claim they give African aid. Where do they get the money to give us aid? We are rather giving these people aid. They survive on our resources. They can never be able to survive if Africa should unite and kick all of them out. Within a year, the migration direction would change. Whether US, whether UK, any part of the West and America will collapse without Africa. That is the reason to which they are putting in systematic measures to continue to keep the African poor, divide them, conquer them, always create enmity, because the day they all unite, there is going to be a problem. How come 3 nations just kicked you out and you are in bankruptcy? How many years? Within 2 years, you are running to IMF. France that has never been to IMF. This is amazing. Africa. All these things that are happening. Yet the African will still love these people and believe whatever they say. If Africa will be free, it is we the youth that can cause the change. As for these old ones, they can never do anything. France. Almighty France. Where is Emmanuel Macron? Who said we need him? We can never survive without him. Within 2 years, you can't even survive without 3 African nations. What if all your francophone countries should come together and kick you out? What will happen to you? Africa is powerful. We are the reason to why these people are where they are. If we want to see them fall, we have to unite. Some of us are always saying we don't have to pray for their downfall, and the West, our brothers are there. So you expect, you love, you cherish your brothers to be somewhere as slaves, instead of Africa developing and changing, for your brothers to come back home to live happily. If the West do not fall, Africa will not rise up. If an empire doesn't collapse, another one will not come out. Our rising depends on their falling. That is why we need to move away from them and form alliance with BRICS. That's why we are seeing Mali, Niger, and Burkina Faso moving away from them. Because if you continue to be with them, they will continue to cripple you. They know how to weaken the African. We haven't determined how to weaken them. Even though we are talking about unity, we still see our brothers as if they are strangers. Until the Africans start seeing the real enemy, we can never unite. Your brother from different countries are not your enemy. This is the best time to live as an African. We are the only ones that can set ourselves free. United we stand, divided we fall, and united we keep standing forever and ever. The greatest enemy of the African is mental slavery. So let's decolonize ourselves from mental slavery. Let's keep sharing to educate our brothers and sisters. Together we make African great for ourselves and the next generations that are going to come. So that's the latest around the world, in Europe and in France.